Hi again, everyone. It's Geely again. I want to talk to you about stress. Everybody knows about stress. At some point in your life, you've experienced stress. Whether it's good stress or bad stress, you've experienced stress. Stress is a broad topic, and I'm not going to get into the intricacies of stress. I just want to talk to you a little about how you're living, because we're in this situation now with the pandemic, and a lot of people are highly stressed for one reason or the other. Some people are stressed out because they're afraid of what can happen to them because of COVID. Some are very stressed out because they've lost loved ones. Some are stressed because they've lost their jobs. All sorts of things bring on stress. And stress is not entirely bad because sometimes it can save your life, believe it or not. Because if you're in a dangerous situation and you need to get away, the stress that develops gives you the adrenaline that you need to move, to get going, and it takes you out of danger. Sometimes you have a deadline to meet and you're stressed, so you get into the mode that says you need to get going because something needs to get done. So it's not always bad. I think it might be referred to. Good stress is called eustress, I think. I'm remembering what I was taught. Anyways, I know that we get stressed from time to time, but chronic stress can make you sick. And sometimes because of how highly strung some people are and because they've been under stress for so long, they really don't recognize. But let me tell you something. Stress can make you really sick. It can bring on cancer. It can bring on diabetes. It can bring on hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, anything that you can think of. Stress can cause that. And if you perhaps have some of these conditions already, stress can make it worse. Some time ago, I was not able to walk. Where do I begin this now? I developed a dizzy spell. I noticed I was always dizzy and it kept getting worse. And I went to the doctor, and none of the doctors seemed able to determine what was wrong with me. So I ended up going to the neurologist, and he did a brainstem test, and he discovered that the flow of blood to my brain was impaired, but he didn't know what was causing it. And he said I needed to do an MRI. So between checking out what it would cost for me to do an MRI and get an appointment and that kind of thing, my girlfriend said she had a friend up in Barbican and she would take me to him and see whether he could help. He was a geneticist at the time, and when I went, as soon as I stepped through the door, the man looked at me and he said, "Why are you so stressed?" And I'm like, what is he talking about? The man said, "Why are you so stressed?" And he decided to give me a full-bodied massage. He had one of those machines that they use. It had a little head with a lot of little rubber pellets on it. So he would like put it on my back and start the machine, and it would start. But I don't know how long it normally takes for a full-bodied massage to be done, but it shouldn't be a long time because he wasn't using his hands. He was using the machine. But it took about 4 hours because wherever he put it and it started to move, my body started to itch like mad, and he would have to stop and wait. So I discovered that my circulation, excuse me, had become quite poor. And it was affecting my brain in such a way that I couldn't walk for a whole month. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't walk. I could not move around unassisted. I just had to stay in bed, and somebody had to assist me from the bed to the bathroom and stuff like that. And I remember one evening when the bed was just tumbling over with me, and I held on for dear life, and the children were prizing off my fingers and saying to me, "Mommy, nothing is wrong, the bed isn't turning over." But they never understood what I was going through. So even though to them the bed wasn't turning over, I needed to hold on really tightly so that I wouldn't fall off the bed. It was really, 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 really bad. And so after I had that massage, I left the office the afternoon, assisted by my girlfriend. And when we were walking from the office out to the gate of the compound, I thought I heard somebody say my name, and I turned my head and I almost broke my neck because my whole body was so relaxed that my head just went around really quickly, and I went home, and before I got home, actually, the dizziness had gone. And I went home, and I decided this was the first time I was going to be able to walk without assistance. And I walked downstairs, went to the kitchen, and got some fruits. And I was coming back, and I got in the dining room, and I fell and I screamed. And the helper and the children were coming to get me because they were, I think, watching TV in the living room. And they came and assisted me. But after that, I was okay. I was able to walk around, and I was able to go back to work the Monday. I think this was a Thursday, and I was able to go back to work on the Monday because now my body, the circulation was happening. Oh, and he said to me that I was going to have a seizure and something else that I can't recall. I don't know what else it was. And he said, whatever you do, never, ever get back to that place, And it was a very stressful time in my life. And I endeavored to listen to what he was saying. So a lot of things that were happening and that were bothering me, I had to find a way of not allowing them to be a bother as they were. Because I think before that time also, I had another experience which was frightening. I was in the bank, I'd gone into the bank to do a transaction. And while I'm standing in the bank, suddenly I felt a pressure, and somebody was saying in my head, "Scream, scream." And it was crowding out everything else in the bank. And I'm talking back to the voice. I'm saying, "No, I can't scream. I can't scream. They're going to think I'm mad. I can't scream." And you know what? I managed to get the transaction done in the bank. I can't tell you how. I can't tell you anything at all about that transaction rather. All I know is that the transaction took place because whatever it is that I needed to have got done was done. I think maybe I was doing a withdrawal or deposit. I don't recall. I cannot tell you when I got to the teller. I can't tell you when I left. When I knew what was happening with me, when I stepped outside in the sunshine and I literally felt something come off my shoulders, like somebody lifted something off me, and I just looked up to the heavens and I said, "Thank you, God." And then I was okay again. And so that was another incident. So now I had to really get a hold of myself and understand that if whatever it was that was stressing me out continued, I was going to be in a bad way. Aside from the fact that I had been out for a whole month not being able to walk, I can't recall which of them happened first, if it was the bank situation or it was that I wasn't able to walk for a month. I remember even having gone to the doctor. I think my husband then had dropped me, I think, and left me. And I was making my way back to get a bus to get home. and I had to sit on the side of the road. It was that bad. I sat on the side of the road and prayed that somebody would come along that would have been able to help me to go across the street so I could get a cab to go home. And I know I got home. Don't remember how. That is how bad it was. So we have to be careful about what is happening in our lives and how we respond to it and how we allow stress to take a hold of our lives, because we don't want to get sick. And when we are stressed to the point that it begins to affect our physical selves, that is when our immune system is not as robust as it can be, and you fall victim to all sorts of illnesses. And you know the COVID is going around, and if your immune system is not robust, then even when you have a robust system, you can still get this disease. So can you imagine if your system is not robust? So I just want to encourage everybody to try and handle the stress in a way that will keep you buoyant. You are not going to succumb to any of these illnesses that come along. Some people have breakouts, all sorts of things happen, and sometimes you're feeling ill and you don't even know what is causing it. Introspect and see what it is that you're doing. What is happening in your life that is causing all of these things to happen? Sometimes you have to learn to say no. When people ask you to do things, you have to learn to say no. You have to learn to plan your time. You need some alone time. You need a break. You need to be able to relax, put up your feet, let down your hair, have a good laugh, pamper yourself sometimes, even if you don't even have the money to do it. If you're at home with your children or your husband or whomever, somebody can give you a nice foot rub. Foot rub is not what I want to say, but a foot rub is all a part of it. Just give you a nice pedicure. They don't have to be professional. You have little things at home. You soak your feet in some water with some Epsom salts, and you get your nice little scrub and all of that, and dried, and your feet are dried nicely, and you take care of yourself, right? You have to eat well. You have to sleep well, get enough sleep, and all of these things, and getting a little exercise. And you know something, you don't have to be pounding the ground and doing all of this like some people do. Your body just needs to be moving. You just need to be active. 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes for the day is fine. And if you don't have 30 minutes at once, you can do it in tranches of 10 minutes and so, and you just need to get it in. Just get the movement going, because what I have discovered, what I'm learning some time ago now, I have found out that too much sitting is not good for you. So even if you're exercising like an hour or more per day, if you're still sitting too much, it's not good for you. It's like when you're smoking. So we have to take these things into consideration. So try and see if you can cut down on the stress that you're undergoing. You're at work and you're under pressure, we know that. But sometimes you have to take it easy. Do the work in a way that you'll be able to cover the most important things for today, and what is left, you have to leave it for tomorrow. You can't be pressuring yourself and killing yourself to do everything in one day. It's not practical. It doesn't make any sense. Because if you fall down and die, I'm very sorry to say that the company will be happy that you are a very good worker, and they'll say that and you'll get the accolades. But this is after you've gone, and they're going to find somebody else to put there. So do a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. You do your work, you do it responsibly, you do it well. But do not run yourself into the ground, because you have your family that needs you. You have your friends who need you. So I'm imploring you to give it some thought. Look into how you're living and see what changes you can make to bring down your stress levels so that you can live a happy, fairly healthy life and enjoy your family, and your family can enjoy your company as well, and everything can become equitable and life will be good. I'm not saying that it will be bliss, but life can be good because there's just too much stress around, and you have to learn how to deal with it and how to cut down on it. And if there's something that you have that is bothering you, try and find somebody that you can talk to about what is going on. You don't have to tell people your business, but you must be able to find, of all the people that you're interacting with, you must be able to find even one person with whom you can talk, somebody that you can confide in and let them know what is going on, and just get it off your chest, you know, air it, and then move on with it. And sometimes we need to get to the place where if something is a bother, you need to be able to talk about it, and then don't even care if somebody else wants to go tell somebody else about it. As long as you never murdered anybody, you never stole anything, you never did anything that is illegal and disgraceful and ungodly, talk about it with somebody. And if they want to go tell somebody else, that's their business, you know. But you just needed to get it off your chest so that you'd be able to move on and not have your brain crammed with all of these things, and then it's affecting your physical body in an adverse way. We all want to live healthy lives. We all want to be happy. And so sometimes we just have to let go and find a way of relieving ourselves of the stress. And also remember that in everything, give thanks to God, who is the author and finisher of our faith, and who takes care of us, and who can give us the peace that we so badly need, the peace that passes all understanding. Trust me, if you let go and you give it to God, you'll find peace. And no matter what is going on around you, once you have peace, you have it good. Blessings. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, night, whenever you watch this, whatever it is. And please remember to subscribe, share, leave a comment if you will, and hit the notification bell so you can get another message that I'll have again. Blessings.